Good evening. I'm Randy Houston. Some of you know me as a classmate and friend of nearly 3 years. Others may recall my award-winning performance as Rerun, that lovable clown prince from TV's What's Happening. Others may remember my acclaimed portrayal of trailblazing North Carolina attorney Jim Ferguson. And a very select few of you may recall my performance as Dustin Hoffman's trusty sidekick that was killed off during the opening sequences of the director's cut of Ishtar. Tonight, however, I tackle my most challenging role to date.
Assistant Dean of Students, Winston, Boyd, Crisp.
Now, many of you may not have heard, but there was some talk for a while that our beloved Winston may not be returning to these hallowed halls after this year. And though those rumors have since been dispelled, I thought that as one of the students who first made Winston's life a living hell, and with Denzel Washington working with Spike Lee again, that I was the best person to pay tribute to our selfless and benevolent leader and his brief though remarkable tenure at UNC Law. But throughout the night, you'll see a number of short films which ponder the question what Winston might do with his life when he does finally leave UNC Law. I hope you enjoy them.
The following is a paid advertisement for the law offices of Winston B. Crisp. It contains adult language, partial nudity, and does not necessarily represent the views of this station or the local legal community. Viewer discretion is advised.
Have you recently caused an accident? Has someone close to you nearly died because you failed to promptly dial 911? Have you harassed a coworker or innocent bystander, hindering her job performance or driving him to a nervous breakdown? I'm attorney Winston B. Crisp, and if you can answer any of these questions in the affirmative, you may be entitled to compensation from your insurance company, their insurance company, the victim, or from someone who has absolutely nothing to do with this situation at all. But saying that you're entitled to compensation does not mean you'll receive it without competent legal assistance. The law offices of Winston B. Crisp can help. Just listen to these satisfied former clients who got exactly what they had coming to them.
A rainy day, and I was driving my truck going about 75 in a 35 zone. I saw the red light up ahead, but my brakes was bad, and I knew I wouldn't be able to stop with the road being all wet. I ran the light, and I hit one of them little Ford Escorts. You know, the kind all them law students drive. Well, the driver was okay, but that car looked like a crushed-up can of soda pop. That little bastard was a third-year law student, and he brought a lawsuit against me. I didn't know what to do, so I called Winston B. Crisp, and he agreed to represent me. I didn't think there was any way I could win that lawsuit, but Winston B. Crisp, he convinced the judge and the jury that that kid should have known my brakes was bad and should have seen me going 75 miles an hour. Winston B. Crisp got me $3.7 million, and even though I only saw $243 of it, that was enough for me to get my truck fixed, and I made new friends in the process. Thank you, Winston B. Crisp.
So my roommate and I are sitting around, hanging out around the room and stuff, and we're doing beer bongs. And I guess someone went down the wrong pipe or something because he started choking and he was rasping, call 911, call 911. So I went to the phone and I started to dial. And then I remembered that when I was in undergrad, somebody had told me that if your roommate dies, you get a 4.0 for the semester. all of a sudden I couldn't remember the number for 911. Anyway, eventually an ambulance showed up, and when they got there, they took him to the hospital. And he was all right. He just had some mild but permanent brain damage that they said probably was from the oxygen deprivation, but it very well could have been from the crystal meth we were doing earlier. The doctor wasn't even sure. Anyway, he was a little upset because he was a third-year law student, same as I was, and the only people he could get offers from then are those shysters that advertise on TV. Anyway, the ungrateful little bastard sued me, and that was when I decided to call Winston B. Crisp. Winston Crisp not only successfully defended me, but convinced the judge and jury that I had suffered extreme emotional damage from the ordeal that my roommate had put me through. And they appealed the case, of course, and eventually, in the North Carolina Supreme Court, Winston won my case, and we recovered a judgment of $56.7 million. After fees and costs and everything, I only saw about $63 of that, but it was enough for a keg. And at least I didn't have to write a law review article to get my name on Lexis and Westlaw. Thank you, Winston B. Crisp.
So I'm hanging out in this bar one night, right? And this good-looking girl walks in. She was with a boyfriend, but I figured, hey, he's not going to mind me talking to her. So he goes over to get her a drink, and I figure, no time like the present, right? So I make my move. I'm laying it on pretty thick, you know? All of a sudden, this jerk comes back and tells me to stay away from his girl. His girl. So as the paramedics are wheeling him out of the bar, this girl starts screaming, talking about how I ruined her night, how he was the only guy she ever loved, and telling me to stay away from her. Can you believe that? Anyway, it turns out this girl was a third-year law student. She frickin' sued me. I seen this guy Crispy on TV when I was watching The Love Connection one night. So I gave him a call. Took my case. And listen to what he told the judge. Check this out. This is what he said. He tells the judge that this girl sicked her goon on me because she wanted me and I had spurned her advances. I won $737 million from this guy. Even better than that. The judge ordered her to go out with me. And even though I only saw $6.49 of the largest jury award in North Carolina history, we're getting married next week. Thank you, Winston B. Crisp.
By now, you're probably wondering how I do it. I don't know. I just do. And I'll show you.